Assalamu alaikum, hello, and welcome live from the UAE. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, welcome to the third edition of the ABLF Hybrid at Expo 2020 Dubai, held under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak Al Nahyan, ABLF patron and UAE cabinet member and Minister of Tolerance and Coexistence, and in partnership with the UAE Ministry of Economy. We're excited to have you all joining us again on this prestigious platform that has hosted now over 120 leaders in meaningful conversations and collaborations over 2 years. First through our TV show on CNBC Arabia, and then through the ABLF Talks virtual conclaves on our cutting-edge digital venue, the ABLF City. As these talks are being live-streamed right now, I believe to over 27,000 people on the ABLF City today, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all our audience members from across Asia who are tuning in. It is great to have all of our guests today who are joining us for this in-person session as well, and also to welcome the Asian diplomatic missions as well as the trade bodies. Thank you for joining us virtually, and also to all of you here who are joining us at the Dubai Cares Pavilion at Expo 2020 Dubai. My name is Sally Musa, and I am so delighted to be hosting this session of ABLF Talks. We've got a fantastic panel of speakers today who will be sharing their perspectives on technology as a transformative tool for the empowerment and economic growth. Their views add tremendous value to the core theme of ABLF Talks, innovative strategies for a decade of challenges, Asia 2020 to 2030. These conversations are powered by 4 innovative super brands: the Aditya Birla Group, a $45 billion conglomerate and Fortune 500 company; Zand, who are driving the significant tech-led narratives of the post-pandemic era as the first digital bank in the world to provide both retail and corporate banking; the UAE's DP World, the global supply chain solutions giant, who returns to the ABLF stage as a legacy partner, as does Etisalat, the fastest mobile network in the world. Also contributing to the important narratives of the ABLF Talks conclaves is our key partner, UNICEF. We're also honoured to have the support of our long-standing partner, Dubai Cares, the global philanthropic organisation whose innovative programs towards ensuring inclusive, quality education for children around the world is a shining example of empathic leadership. A warm welcome also to our media partners, CNBC Arabia, Khalij Times, Hindustan Times, Muscat Daily, ZTV, and WION. If you have any speakers that you would love to see on the ABLF Talk stage, then do make sure that you tweet at us at ABLF, or you can drop a request in on our Instagram and LinkedIn pages as well. So for our virtual audience, you can also ask your questions today for our live sessions, just using the Ask a Question button during the session. And now, for our speakers today. This month, we have some very special guests whose insights are going to be providing a roadmap of sorts for the future, even as we continue to recover from the impact of the pandemic. And we are especially delighted to have the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia taking center stage today at ABLF Talks. It is a great honor to have joining us today His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Ahmed Al-Sudairi, Deputy Minister of Education for Universities, Research and Innovation, who will be giving his keynote address. Joining us also will be His Excellency Engineer Badr Abdullah Al-Dulami, Vice Minister of Transport and Logistical Services, KSA, and he'll be sharing his insights on rethinking globalization in the context of infrastructure projects to enhance regional and international integration and connection. We also have an incredibly remarkable woman joining us today from Saudi Arabia. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Rima Jafali. She is the kingdom's first female racing driver, and she was recently appointed ambassador for the country's inaugural Formula One Grand Prix, which has just taken place in Jeddah. Absolutely amazing. And that is just one of her many achievements. She is an icon for Arab women, and I cannot wait for her to share her incredible story with us today. We're also honored to have with us Mr. Giuseppe Saba, CEO of International Humanitarian City here in Dubai, which is, by the way, the world's largest humanitarian hub. I was actually honored to visit IHC and to tour it with Mr. Saba himself and to see what goes on there and the incredible way that they are organized and what they do to attend to crises and emergencies around the world from Dubai right here. And it's incredible. It's a tour that I recommend everybody takes just to understand how it all works and what it takes to respond in such a phenomenal way. Mr. Saba's session on the UN SDGs, a greater urgency with higher stakes, will focus on partnerships and the ways in which the world can come together to solve the crisis in education and other sectors. Thank you so much, Mr. Saba, for taking the time to be with us today as well. And of course, technology is the key to solving the biggest socioeconomic challenges facing the world today. And we have with us two outstanding entrepreneurs who have led their companies through the pandemic, and they are looking at what's to come for an artificial intelligence-led future with their work. And we're going to be hearing from Noura Nahas. He is the CEO and co-founder of Nebel KSA, and Melda Aitken. She is the founder and CEO of D14.ai, who will be sharing their perspectives on how this crisis has proved to be a catalyst for a tech-led future. So, please do give all of our speakers a warm round of applause, and let's set the stage for a riveting afternoon of oriented discussions. And now, please join me in welcoming to the stage to give his keynote address, His Excellency, Dr. Mohammed bin Ahmed Al-Sudairi, Deputy Minister of Education for Universities, Research and Innovation for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Hello, everybody. Today, I'm delighted to have the opportunity to address the distinguished global leaders in Asian Business Leadership Forum. In the session, I'm going to talk about the urgency of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and the key position of education and realization their targets. I'm also going to present some of the successful sustainable projects and development initiatives in Saudi Arabia in the connection to the SDGs. Also, I'm going to talk about the Ministry of Education continuing their monitoring and leading initiative on the embedded topics with the education and academic critical for the school, guided to the principles of education and sustainable development SG 17 goals. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate goal of education system is to provide students with the knowledge, skill, values, attitude, and enable them to succeed and effectively participate in their society, in the job market, and in their daily lives. To achieve this goal, education needs to advocate human rights and promote the value of respected mutual understanding, tolerance, peace, and diversity through the curriculum as well as extracurriculum activities. Saudi Arabia shared the same sentiment and commitment regarding promoting peace and prosperity for all and planet Earth and manifested the SDGs. The education touched all aspects of human life and it's instrumental lifting people from poverty, promoting better nutrition, and improve the students' skill and abilities. In both regulation and practices, Saudi Arabia has moved forward in the realization of these goals by establishing certain deliverables for each goal. We strongly believe that education comes at the heart of sustainable development goals, both in human rights and fulfillment of equality and quality of life. Saudi Vision 2030 inspires to the promotion of international standing for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in all economic, social, and cultural. It is promote the concept of global citizenship, modernization, and internationalization. When we talk about the quality of education in Saudi Arabia, I need to share some of the thought with you, ladies and gentlemen. Ministry of Education has taken accelerated steps toward achieving SDG 4 by promoting the initiative of Saudi Vision 2030 programs, which enhance inclusivity and equality in the promotion of long life learning, opportunity for all, and the launching of the Education 2030 Declaration in 2015. The Saudi Minister of Education is also committed to share best practices and lessons learned to support better access to the quality of education, continuity of learning, and realization in the time of crisis. Regarding the early childhood education, the early childhood education index in Saudi Arabia has increased from 13% to 28% in the past 3 years. As for the K-12 education, the ministry has plastered global citizenship by promoting the value of understanding, tolerance, and openness and for all people, and also trying to eliminate the form of discrimination and the hate. In addition, the Ministry of Education conducting regular reviews of all national curriculum to ensure that they're compatible with a global standard while maintaining the national fundamental principles and values. The Ministry of Education seeks continuing to develop the teaching capability and the qualification of educators to optimize learning environments for students, motivate educators through continuous professional development, and ensure the adapting the most effective teaching and learning techniques. In relation of higher education, within few years, the Ministry of Education opened several new universities to provide equal access for students in all regions and promote research, cooperation, and training with international esteemed universities. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia also achieved the first Arab position on the research in the research related to the COVID-19 and the 30th and globally, which to ensure the inclusive on the education, the Ministry of Education launched initiative called Higher Education for All, to allow people from different background and age to enroll in the university program without restrictions. In addition, the ministry promoted international students exchange program and currently working on launching an initiative that attracts top global university to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It should be noted that gender parity rate in higher education has increased significantly as a number of female enrolled in the higher education has exceeded the number of males, and this applies to the enrollment rate on the custodian of the Two Holy Mosque scholarship program. Regarding the long life learning, aiming to combat illiteracy and enhance the role of school in the surrounding community, the ministry launched an interactive initiative such as after-school program, provide different services to school community, which has motivated targeted group to retain to learning, and also to increase their skills by giving more of the in the training side. Such activity were meant to raise the level of well-being and the quality of the life for the Saudi community. On the technical and vocational education training, Saudi Arabia aimed to increase the enrollment in technical and vocational educational and training through initiatives. The Ministry of Education contributed to this path by launching the Saudi Arabian Classification of Education and Training, which helped employment in the labor market and transformed the community colleges into applied colleges. Technical and vocational education and training paths were included in the custodian of the Two Holy Mosque scholarship program. This contributes to the rise enrollment rate on the technical and applied institution colleges since 2015. Saudi Arabia Vision 2030 has launched several projects, some of which are closely associated with fulfilling the objective of change through the innovation and sustainability. One of these important programs is Human Capital Development Program. This program designed, which has been launched last September, designed to ensure that citizens have the required capability to compete globally by instilling value and developing basic and future skills, as well as enhancing knowledge. The program focuses on the developing a solid educational base for all while preparing the youth for the future local and global labor market. It is also focused on upskilling learners by providing lifelong learning opportunity, supporting innovation and entrepreneurship culture, and developing the activity and policy and enablers to ensure Kingdom of Saudi Arabia competitiveness. The Saudi Ministry of Education is responsible and the owner of 67 of these initiatives. Most of it, 28 of these initiatives are focused on the developing students, teachers, and school administrators' capabilities. The Saudi Arabia, we believe the necessity of equality and quality of all, and especially for the women, and the woman to contribute to the Saudi National Sustainable Development Projects. The Ministry of Education was keen to provide the job opportunity for both genders and standardize the salary scale, the latest of which was the announced of the list of education salaries. In addition, the ministry exceeded the goal of empowering women for the year 2025 within Saudi Vision 2030, which increased the number of female leaders in the administrative and technical posts. These policies contributed to the progress of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in 4 global indicators related to the women as follows: the World Economic Forum Gender Gap Index, the Women Business and Law Index, Index Legislators, Seniors, Officials, and Managers, and Equal Pay Index for the women and men similar work. In conclusion, Saudi Arabia was realized that education and skill are 2 important resources for reaching the objective of sustainability and development goals. To that end, we emphasized the essential role of education and skill training in address social, cultural, economic challenges. This leads to us to stress the importance of promoting our commitment to foster international collaboration and the sharing of the best practices to advance education system across the globe. In this, we will contribute to the target sustainable goals, including reducing poverty and inequity, promoting inclusive and sustainable economic growth, advancing across the quality of education for all, especially girls, and empowering women, youth, and vulnerable groups. Also, we can share, if we have time, later on, we can share our experience on education in the time of crisis, where we launch what we call madrasati, immediate launched within few days of the crisis of the COVID-19. On that madrasati, we also launch rawdati, which is supposed to be for the youth. And also we have synchronous, asynchronous communication with the students and with the teachers to promote learning and teaching. Also, we have launched 24 satellite channels, which give synchronous and asynchronous as well broadcasting for the classroom and for the subject. This is something we need to have more time to explain it, but it's been recognized by international agencies, and it's been written reports on that, and we are very proud of our young male and female who work very hard day and night to launch this madrasati in order to continuing the education. We are proudly and really very happy and honored really to have continuing the education on the time of crisis. Thank you.